So moonshot ideas always seem really crazy, and I think that there are sufficient ideas in this world, or sufficient problems that we have that are big enough that people can pursue a large number of moonshot ideas. And the thing is, so these are ideas that just seem so crazy at this moment that you're like, what the heck? That doesn't make any sense to me. And the vast majority of the people would say that it doesn't make that much sense. So it's important to remember that these moonshot ideas are not just about pursuing that particular idea itself, but you're actually pursuing a large number of problems that are associated with that often can result in something that's quite interesting, that people forget about, or that's adjacent. A problem that you solve along the way is an adjacent problem that could actually be a more relevant problem to solve. And I think we need to think about that pursuing moonshot ideas is actually a very healthy, I guess, or rational, or it makes sense, to pursue these things that everybody else thinks are crazy. But the challenge is you have to keep yourself going. It's not about the money. It's not sort of a financial thing, because the money you could sort of figure out one way or the other. But, the thing is that you have to have the gumption to keep going, despite the fact that everybody thinks it's absolutely crazy with what you're pursuing. And you have to do it for such a long time that, you feel like you kind of give up on yourself a lot of times. And that's just part of it, right? So moonshots are just a lot further along in terms of what you can do than what everybody else is sort of thinking about. And I think about those ideas, right? So I think we need to sort of pursue these things. For example, new energy needs, or new ways to work properly or efficiently, new ways to sort of communicate more effectively, like a lot of things, right? That could be very much moonshot ideas that people are going to sort of look on you sideways when you pursue those. But the thing is, you have to sort of remove yourself from the sort of objective, performance objective, and think about, hey, you know what? What we're going to do here is just play around with things and have fun with playing around with things. Because ultimately, if you sort of focus on, are you going to accomplish this particular moonshot? Chances are, the vast majority of the chances, 99% of the time, it's not going to sort of pan out. But you really have to sort of think about the exploratory effort of it, and think about, like, you're just playing around and just goofing around with things. And the more that you could sort of remove that objective performance outcome, and I know that, that you have financial constraints and all those kind of things, but the more that you could sort of think of this as, hey, I'm just playing here, the more likely that you're going to continue to sort of pursue these particular moonshot ideas, and figuring out, the time scale that works for you. That's why I think I really like the idea of hobbies. And I've sort of talked about this publicly before, that, many things just start with a hobby. Like, people have a crazy idea and they pursue it. And I think we should really emphasize that, man, you don't need to create a business all the time, or you don't need to have this sort of objective all the time, but you can get together and actually create something that's interesting that nobody else would do before. And I think sort of pursuing those particular things is healthy, and we don't have enough people pursuing those things. So we have massive problems. You name the problem, and you'll think that it's a big problem, and yet people will sit there and sort of wring their hands. But you tell me how many people are actually willing to do something. And there's not a lot of people that are actually willing to do something. It's actually quite surprising how few people will actually get up and do something. Most people would be more likely to just watch and wring their hands or worry or whatever. And you have to remember that, hey, if you want to actually make a difference in this world, you actually have to start. And when you start, it doesn't feel like much. It seems stupid, all of that kind of stuff. But you just keep going and keep taking those steps forward. I think that's the important thing to remember. All right, so go pursue moonshots. I think that they're kind of fun and interesting, seemingly stupid, but pursue them. I think it's a healthy way to view the world.